Good evening. This is Luis Busquets, and today is June 11th, 2020. This is the monthly teleconference meeting for the ASCA board. Present are Denise, Gina, Jan, Jean, Judy, Rachel, Rick, Warren, myself, Liz Busquets, and Kala. So the way that we do this, if this is your first time, is that we have our agenda and we go down each item and we discuss. If there is a motion, then we go ahead and vote on those motions as the process calls. So our first item for open session tonight is last month's email business.
This is Jean. I move to approve last month's email business. Denise, a second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Jean, seconded by Denise, to approve last month's email business. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. All right, so our next thing here is the system liaisons report. Rachel?
We do not have an update on the system report at this time because Ray is working with Inventive to provide to the board an all-encompassing technology plan and quote for how to move forward with the system update. That's due at the end of June. So there's no update at this time. Thank you.
Okay, any questions or comments? I guess I only have one. You said we should have it by the end of June, or?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I was looking back for the date. I was actually looking for that. I was looking for the date. I do not believe it's the 29th. Hold on a minute. Let me find it. I should have already had that pulled up.
So the 29th is a Monday.
Right. That's why I can't remember if it's the 26th on a Friday or the 29th. It's the end of June because Ray was concerned that he would not have time with the office getting back full force, bringing in new personnel, and having to work with Inventive. So he wanted until the end of June to do that, to provide that quote for us. I apologize. I cannot find it right now. I'll find it and get back to you if you want to move on, Liz.
Okay, all right. Okay, any other questions or comments for Rachel?
Liz, this is Rachel again. I'm not sure if we lost you, but what we had said was that he would provide the quote on or before June the 30th, 2020.
Thank you. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Did you get that?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, so on or before June the 30th. Thank you.
All right, so our next item, before I blanked out again, is the follow-up on the sanctioning considerations related to COVID-19. Last week, Ray had told us that he could work with 30 days sanctioning time temporarily. And we were going to ask the committees that do course reviews if they could turn them around quick enough for the office to do that. So I'm not sure if the liaisons for those committees want to say something. I guess one of them would be what agility, and the other one would be stock dog. I think that Raleigh does them after, right? So it wouldn't after the trial, so it wouldn't quite matter, right? And those were the only two then?
This is Jan.
Yeah, Jan, go ahead.
I didn't go to Agility. They already have a 30-day turnaround time for courses. And I assume other judges are going to be like me that are sitting on courses that have been approved and not used.
I'm sure.
So I believe they're well within the time frame that Ray would need to get those sanctioned. Thank you.
But they would need to turn them around in less than 30 days, because if the sanctioning is received by the office 30 days before the show or the trial, they can't wait until 30 days to send it to
Liz?
Ray.
This is Judy.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, our course review, Ray doesn't have anything to do with course review for agility, and I am a course reviewer.
Okay.
As Jan said, we work on a 30-day anyway. So we are supposed to have the courses within 30 days before the trial. We can, you know, Ray sanction of the 30 days. Most of these judges are going to know already. They have to have their courses in. They must be back to the judge within 2 weeks after that. The final revisions must be back to the reviewer and their final set submitted 1 week before the trial. That's what we operate on now, so I don't really think it would be a problem for a 30-day sanctioning period.
Great. Sounds good. So I was just mistaken on my.
Thank you, Judy.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. And then Rick, did Stock Dog send something back, or?
Yeah, they did, and I forwarded it to everybody on the board. Basically, they can turn it around in 7 to 10 days, but the problem they have is they get the course and the Stock Dog committee has a question, and then it takes them 2 weeks to get a hold of somebody to answer their question. So that's the problem. But if everything goes as planned, they can get it turned around in a timely manner. But if they don't get proper communication back, if they have questions, that's where the delay is coming from.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's understandable. And I know that that's the same problem with the premiums that the office encounters, is that sometimes there's problems with the premium or questions about the premium, and then they can get hold of people quickly enough to, you know, do things in a timely manner. So I don't know how to fix that. I mean, we can ask the affiliates to actually, you know, be on the lookout for emails or whatever from whatever committee, you know, whether it's agility or whether it's, you know, if they have questions, or whether it's Stock Dog, you know, for the premium. And
Liz,
try to answer. Yeah.
This is Rachel.
Yeah, go ahead, Rachel.
When these guys send in farm trials and ranch trials, if they know that they have to be reviewed, they need to be put on notice by the office. Okay, I've received this. It's going to the Stock Dog committee. Basically, pay attention to your email. If they really want to get these sanctioned and be able to run them, they must respond to the Stock Dog committee in a timely manner. That needs to be totally communicated to the folks that want to have the trials. So I think the burden and the responsibility goes back to them, and they need to be made aware of it.
Yeah. So I guess if we want to then go ahead and give Ray the go ahead for doing 30-day sanctionings temporarily. I'm not sure that we can put an end to the, an end date to it, because we don't know how this is going to go, whether there's going to continue, problems are going to continue or whatever with the COVID-19 situation. But is this something that you guys think that needs a motion? It probably does.
How in the world would we know when to put an end date on this motion?
No, we would not be able to. It would have to be like until further notice or something like that.
Yeah.
Because there's just no way. Yeah.
This is Rachel again. I personally am not sure that this requires a motion. I think
Okay.
maybe we just communicate this in an email to the business office and go from there.
Okay.
Until
Does
further
anybody
notice.
does anybody have a different opinion?
This is Denise. I think that if
Yes.
we're going to have shows and events, trials this summer, we have to go ahead with this 30-day sanctioning, or we won't have anything until the fall. So Ray says 30 days would be good. So I think we should, tell Ray, go ahead, we're set. And I don't know that it needs to have a motion either.
Okay, so is anybody against me just going, or Kala going to Ray and just saying, do 30 days, we do 30 days until further notice?
Liz, this is Rick. I don't have a problem with it, but I can see somebody coming back and saying we're not following our own rules. But I'm good either way.
What do you mean not following our own rules? Do you mean
Because
without a motion?
our rules say 60 days.
Yeah, right.
And we can't change the rule without a motion.
Right. Well, I think, okay, so this is what I think. I think that the safer thing is to do a motion and just say temporarily we're doing 30 days sanctioning due to the COVID-19 situation until further notice.
Liz, I'll make that motion as stated.
I would second it, Denise.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor by Rick, seconded by Denise, to allow a 30-day sanctioning timeline until further notice due to the COVID-19 situation. Any further discussion?
This is Gina. I just have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we send something out to the membership, either like in your report or, to the ASCA members list, stating that we will attempt to do the 30 days, but that's only if all the paperwork and everything is correct, that, they can't hold us to the 30 days?
Yes, certainly some kind of statement needs to go out. I wouldn't put it in the president's message because I don't know, how many people read actually my boring messages. So
I think Kala could
think
send
that.
it out.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
I
think
read
that it should.
every word, Liz. Every word.
Well,
I read every word.
Yeah, but I think that the best thing to do is to have a specific message going out on the list and on social media and on the website that says that we're doing this temporarily, but that affiliates need to have all their ducks in a row if they want to be able to, if they want the office to be able to do it in 30 days.
Yeah, I think as long as that's clear, I don't think we'll have any problems. Just so they don't come back and try and blame the office for not
Right.
getting it done.
All right, any further discussion on this motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, motion carries. Okay, so the next thing is the 2020 finals budget. And I believe these are new ones, right, Carla?
No, I don't have any new
Oh,
ones.
no. Well,
Nope.
darn.
Same old, same old.
Okay. Okay.
Liz, this is
That's
Rachel.
what I- yeah.
Larry just sent a new one today for the Stock Dog Finals to Peter.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so guys, this is the situation. I really doubted that they were gonna get this done in time for this meeting, because there are many changes to the budget that are now gonna have to happen because of the changes that the consortium is having to make to accommodate the COVID-19 restrictions. So, for example, Peter just announced on the Facebook page for the Nationals that all confirmation is going to be outside. So that changes the budget as far as mats, and but it has added the expenses of the tents. So so what I'm trying to say is that a lot of these changes that are coming up are going to be reflected in the budget, and so that's why I doubted that they will get it done for today. So I'm going to push them and make sure that everybody, you know, all the program finals, you know, get it done as soon as possible so that we can approve this, because we're getting down to the wire. But at the same time, these are, you know, extreme circumstances that we're having. So do you have anything else to add to that, Rachel?
No, ma'am, because this is, you know, you're looking at about $90,000 right now for all the finals, and that could still change.
Right. So, like I said, I'll try to push to make sure that they send them as quickly as possible, since we're getting down to the wire. That's all I can do, I think, with all the changes that they're having to make. Are there any questions or comments about this?
Yeah, this is Judy.
Okay, Judy?
I didn't
Judy?
see any answers to any of our questions about the different finals budgets and the different things, like the overlap in everybody charging for mats and everybody, like, okay, confirmation may be outside now, but if juniors isn't, it's still going to need matting. But in any case, we still haven't been answered. Are all of those different charges for mats, for equipment, for ring gating and things, are those the charges per day? Are they being split with the rest of the pre-shows and the finals? I mean, I didn't see any. So did I miss anything?
No, I don't think that they have sent anything, because I think that they wanted to do it all in one sit. But when I looked at the budgets, I thought that they were just for those finals, like confirmation and juniors are only one day. So those, sorry, those prices or fees or whatever for expenses for matting or ring gates or whatever will be for, and the facility, which would, at that point was the building, but now it's not going to be the building. That was for each one for that one day.
So mats are costing $3,400 for the entire week. That's basically what they're saying.
Yeah, of course now it's not going to be. I don't. So I guess I guess the thing to do would be, I'll remind them of the questions as well, so that they make sure that when they make when they're revising the budgets, they are addressing those at the same time. But no, they have not sent me anything, and they have not sent Kala anything as at this point. So the
Okay,
last meeting
thank
that
you.
I had with them, yeah, the last meeting that I had with them, I just told you what they told me, that they were making all these changes. So anything else?
This is Denise. I
Go
had
ahead,
a question, probably more for Rachel, probably can answer it. I was looking at the feed costs for the cattle and the sheep and the ducks. And my question is, why do sheep cost $200 some more to feed than cattle? And that was kind of a quandary for me. There were several things on that budget that I thought were kind of questionable, because I just did the same budget. And a big question I have is the cattle, sheep, and ducks. The first day are 160 head or whatever they were, 60 I think. And then after that they're 85. What happens to those other cattle and sheep and ducks after the first day? Do they go home? Are they still on premises? Still need to be fed? So that was a question I had for that.
Rachel, are you there?
It would help if I'd unmute myself.
Okay.
Larry and I talked yesterday, Denise, and we went through and looked at the budget again and have made a lot of corrections to the finals stock budget. The feed for the ducks is actually $480, $15 per bag, 8 per day for 4 days, because we're splitting it up because they have to come in on Friday, and then they're there on Saturday. The pre-show, if they do a pre-show, a lot of the pre-shows are dropping out. So I don't have knowledge right now if the pre-show is going to drop out. Feed for cattle has gone up drastically. And the reason it's gone up drastically is we have no method by which to move round bales. The facility will not allow us to use their tractor. We can't afford to rent a tractor to sit there for 9 days, because the cattle have to come in on Wednesday before the event, before finals actually start on Sunday, because the cattle are not dog broke. So we actually have to have someone to break them there on site, dog break them. They've never seen dogs. So the cattle feed went up to $3,800. And that's for 4 days, and we hope to recoup some of that also if they have the pre-show. But either way, the cattle are going to be there for 9 days. 8 days, I'm sorry, 8 days. And the sheep feed went up to $1,300 because we're having to bring in square bales, again, because we have no vehicle to move round bales at all. When we had first done this budget, at that point in time, we had no idea that the horse park had changed so much that once the city of Conyers had come in, that we were no longer allowed to use their tractor. And so on this budget, you will also see a cost of the rental vehicle. $375 out of the $1,125 it's going to take to set up the rodeo panels that the contractor is going to bring in, and to set up the panels that we're having to buy in order to line the cattle arena. The horse park only had enough cattle panels to build a sheep working facility. We've got to line the sheep arena in hog wire, and we've got to line the cattle arena in cattle panels to keep them from getting out, because it's a 2-rail, basically plastic fence at the site. So in Larry's new budget, you'll also see $3,230 for cattle panels. And we split that out because we are supposed to purchase 105 cattle panels at $8,265 a piece. Those are all sold, but of course we couldn't sell them for what we bought them for, so we sold them for a discount, but they're all sold. Or at least they were. Let me qualify that. Since the bottom is dropped out of the beef market, I'm not sure if the guy that's going to haul the cattle still is going to be able to buy those panels. And quite frankly, I have not followed up with any one of my suppliers in any way until we determine if this is actually going to go forward. So I realize that that's a very long-winded answer to your question, but there's a lot of changes on this new budget. And so once you get it, you'll be able to see, but I went ahead and told you some of what you're going to see. And the finals judges is broken out on the new budget that Larry prepared. And the entry fees did increase to $5,400 if it's full. And since the stock doc committee has created the motion to allow everyone in, hopefully, if folks can come, it will fill. Do you have any other questions, Denise?
I don't have anything right now until I can sit down and look at it, Rachel. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for asking.
Okay, any other questions or comments on the budget? I know this is just such an unusual situation. It's like everybody is having to adapt in ways that we couldn't foresee. So hopefully they can get everything together here soon. I'll send them an email tonight to remind them anyway. All right. If there is nothing else on that, then our next one is, I believe Judy is going to talk to us about a suggestion regarding nationals and finals judge letters. Judy?
Yeah, my suggestion was to make all of the finals judging letters sent out electronically, because the office, and it's been done that way in Agility forever, but apparently in some of the other programs, the office is sending out letters by mail and giving them postage paid envelopes to return it. Now, I think that's, personally, I think it's a waste of our funds to do that, even if the postage paid envelopes are not paid for until they're used. I'm not sure. I had never got an answer from the office on that, but it's the 21st century. We need to do this electronically. It's how most judges do it. And judges that I've talked to even said that while they get it through the mail, through snail mail, they just scan it and send it back to the office via email, and they don't even send it back. So it's something I think we need to discuss, and also that will help cut our expenses in that respect.
I agree. Hey, this is Rick. I agree with you.
I'm going to go around, Rick, but I'm going to start. I'll start with you.
Okay.
I'll start with you.
Okay.
That way we can go on. So go ahead, Rick.
I'm sorry. I agree with Judy. I got one of those confirmation judges letters for finals. I also received 50-cent prepaid envelope to return it in, and it's still sitting on here on the counter because I'm not eligible to judge, because I judged last year's national, and I don't know. I agree with Judy. That's ridiculous that we're sending prepaid envelopes out. to return these. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you, Rick. Warren?
I don't have anything on this topic.
Okay, thank you. Rachel?
Definitely email. Thank you.
All right. Jean?
Yeah, we should be, ASCA should be attempting to do as much as possible electronically, especially, and I want to piggyback on this, in that finals entries should be sent via email also. The amount of postage going overseas and the amount of lost mail, and I mean, I love our U.S. Postal Service, so don't get me wrong, but and the delay in getting these things to people in a timely manner, I think the turnaround would be a lot better. And you know, for the judges, for nationals and finals, absolutely. There's no reason that we cannot do that via email. And just to answer Judy's question, once that postage is put on that envelope, ASCA has paid for it. That's how that machine works. So yes, it would save us a bunch of money. That's all I got.
Okay. Jan?
I think going all electronic would be great, but be sure that we accommodate any of those that do not have that technology. Thanks.
Okay. Gina?
I have nothing further to add. I agree 100%.
Okay. Denise?
I think it's a great idea, even with somebody with limited computer skills, such as myself. I can receive an email and I can send it back. So one of the things that I think there should definitely be is I don't know if they have any way to confirm that somebody has received it or to follow up if it was received or not. But I do think that this is certainly the way to go. Thank you. And I do agree with Gina, or Jan, I guess it was, that if people don't have an email listed, that they can get it by snail mail. Thanks so much.
I can answer Denise.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Judy.
Yes, in Agility, we receive everything by email, and we must respond to the Agility program person by email that we have received it. Whether we send it back in or not, that's up to us, but she knows that we've received it, so we must do that.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you, Judy.
Yeah, I agree. I think that we've done things by snail mail just way too long. I think we have to get on with, you know, progress and do things, taking advantage of the modern technologies that we have available to us. I think that if they do it for Agility, I'm assuming that the office will be able to adjust and do it for all the programs. I mean, after all, it takes quite some time, I would imagine, to stuff all those envelopes after printing all the letters and stuff. So I'm pretty sure that they could accommodate sending them by email instead. So yeah, I agree.
So how do we proceed? Do we make a motion? Do we just instruct the office? What do we do?
Well, I don't have the rule books in front of me, so I'm not sure how the rule books are worded. So it's possible that we may have to change, or that the committees will have to change the wording just a little bit. I'm not entirely certain, but if that's the case, then we need for them to do that first.
Okay, so send it to the committee.
This is Jean.
Yeah, go ahead, Jean.
Things like mailing out or inviting judges to be finals or nationals judges really should be an office procedure.
Yeah, it should be.
You know, and I mean, the methodology of how they are chosen absolutely can be the program, under the program, but how they are notified is an office procedure. And this is one of those instances where really a procedure like this should be in the policy book or the nationals rule book and removed from each one of the individual program rule books, so that way we're not doubling down on all of this. So
That's
I mean,
true.
I mean, I'd be happy to look through that and see if that's something, you know, and I mean, I don't want to step on committee's toes or anything, but like I said, that this process is really an office paperwork process, has nothing to do with how they're chosen. It's more about how they're notified. We want to make sure they're notified in a timely manner, in the most expedient manner that we can possibly do. So, like I said, I'd be happy to look at all the rule books and see if it says something in each one, and then maybe find a place in the policy book that we could put it so that we can eliminate that if we all decide to move forward on this. Thank you.
Yeah, well, that will be very helpful, Jean. Yes, we should see. I'm not sure then if we don't know if we can go forward with the motion. Let me see.
Liz, this is Judy.
Go ahead, Judy, while I'm looking at this.
Well, I was going to say, well, then why don't we do the research, see what needs to be done, and have this ready for next year's selections so that everybody knows it will be coming electronically.
Yeah, we can do that.
I mean,
there's so like, yeah. If Jean gets the information to us, then we should be able to make a decision or a motion, you know, that changes whatever parameters, you know, in the rules or whatever, you know, and just have it done. I'm not sure that we'll be able to make that change so that we can do it this year. I will have to talk to Ray about that, but we certainly can for next. So I'm assuming everybody is agreeable that Jean is going to do this research, and we're going to revisit this topic when she has it.
Yes,
I agree.
Great. Okay, good. So the next item is the board meeting schedule.
Hey, Liz, this is Rachel. I'm sorry, I have to leave the meeting. It's getting dark and I've got to go put up ducks. So,
okay.
All right, I'm leaving. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, so it says here that the consortium reserved a meeting room for 4 days, but it doesn't say which days. I mean, can it be any days?
Yeah, it's up to us which days that we wanted. I guess what he said is that they had set aside a budget of like $400 basically for the rooms. If we needed an extra day, then they could do that. But that was just what they had worked with originally. And so, you know, if you guys wanted to look at the schedule that I have in the Dropbox and see which days, you know, were lighter than some of the others, like obviously Monday you don't want to meet, it's all the finals. And the same with Sundays, since people are usually at Stock Dog finals. So it just depends on like who's doing what on what day and what other days you're available.
I'm trying to get, okay, board meeting schedule.
And Callie, the red ones are already, there's a conflict there that we know about already. Is that the reason they're red?
So the red are things that the board is like basically required to attend. The finals, if you're a liaison for that program, then you're expected to be there. And then the affiliate club meeting on Tuesday, and the finals reception for the finalists is also that night. And then the general membership meeting is Wednesday at 7, and immediately following that is the board meeting to elect the ASCA officers. And then anything else is, the blue is voluntary, but those are events that, you know, people expect the board to be at, and the rest is up in the air.
Great, thank you.
Okay, so the only day that I can't, besides the finals, of course. Let's see. The New York pre-show people asked me to judge that day because they were having trouble finding judges. So I said that I would if they can't find anybody else. So that day, I don't even know what I would be judging. But so Tuesday, if I judge, then we'll be out. But then we have the affiliate club meeting at 7, and hopefully, I'll be done by then. And the finals reception, of course, I have to be there.
So I really think that you guys need to have a meeting on Wednesday, which is the last meeting of the seated
right.
board. And then you need to have a meeting on Thursday, which is the first meeting of the new board.
Yes, I absolutely
And anything
agree.
else besides that would, is up to you guys. Is my suggestion.
Yeah. And then, I forget, we usually have like a full agenda for nationals. And of course, last year we had some added stuff. But I think if we did Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, maybe we could do it. I mean, does anybody else have any other ideas?
Do we normally do 3 days or 4 days of
Well,
meetings?
it depends. I mean, some have done, some boards have done almost, like 5 or 6 days, and others have done 3, and others have done 4. Right, Carla?
It depends on what's needed.
Yeah,
Right.
some boards have preferred to meet, all day and get things done over 2 or 3 days, and some boards have preferred to meet, for 2 or 3 hours each day or every other day. So it really just depends on how active you are at nationals and what time you have available to be at the meetings, and also, do you want to be in meetings at nationals or do you want to be out and about with the membership? So that's really the questions that you guys ask each other every year.
Yeah, and I've always said that we need to be out there for the membership, especially on a year like this year where everything has so screwed up. I think that we need a presence. So I really wouldn't like us to be stuck in some room, but then it's also difficult to say when I'm not seeing. Do we have a partial agenda, Carla?
No, I don't have one
Like
that isn't. I don't have one that isn't just all of the standard things, which I could send out over email.
Yeah. Well, if we could at least have that, we could at least have an idea of.
This is Jan. We sort of
Go
have
ahead, Jan.
available days at the beginning, Friday or Saturday. Saturday, the pre-shows are running, so that's not nationals. That should be a time that we could be behind closed doors. And then also do the Wednesday, Thursday. And then review the agenda after that.
Yeah, I think that the way that they have done the schedule is a little different also, so we also have to adapt. I don't think that Friday will be a great idea. I don't think that everybody will be able to get there. But I think maybe a few hours on Saturday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
So the thing is you guys could agree to those dates now, and then you could set the times that you're meeting when it gets closer.
Right.
Too.
Sure. Yeah.
This is Gina. Can I say something?
Sure, Gina.
Donna Paget has sent out an email or a post on Facebook asking for help with the pre-trial stock dog, and they were thinking about not putting it on if they couldn't get enough help. And that was on the Saturday, October 24th. And so I told him if I'm not in meetings, I will be glad to either time or scribe or whatever. So I think it's really important to have a pre-trial for the stock dog folks. So if we could just do even part-time on Saturday, that would be great. That's all I had.
Yeah, I saw the same message, and I didn't answer her because I wasn't sure what the situation what's going to be. I figured that we would know a little better after tonight. Yeah, we can try to do like a partial day on Saturday, or say Saturday sometime, and then figure out the hours on Saturday later on. I mean, so the schedule is completely free, really, because we have nothing as far as any receptions or anything like that. So we could, either try to do it a little early, or try to do it, later in the afternoon when everything is winding down, or whatever. But if we at least say Saturday, we're going to do Saturday sometime, then we can add that to the schedule, and we can say Saturday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and see if that works.
Liz, this is Judy.
Yeah.
I would say Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, because we never seem to have enough time, and we can always cancel the Friday meeting if we get everything done.
Sure.
So, and that would allow us to mingle on Friday if we're already done. But it seems like every time we're at national, I mean, I've only done this a couple of times now, but we always seem to run out of time. So I would rather see us schedule the time so that we know, and if we need it, we have it. If we don't need it, great, we're loose.
Yeah, I think last year we only had to add 1 hour, so that was actually an achievement in itself. But yeah, we can say Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then just adjust. I mean, when we see the agenda, we'll have a better idea of how much time we're gonna need.
Well, I'm good. This is Gina. I'm good with that, especially if we can just do part-time with Saturday, because I want to send Donna a message saying I'll help. And then I'm timing for either that or scribing for the finals. So other than that, I have nothing going on. I'm free anytime.
Yeah, and I believe those Germany free trials, I don't remember, but I know that at least the Belgium pre-show is done. I think that the Germany ones also are being canceled because they're not going to be able to travel. But I'll have to check on that. So there's going to be actually less going on that day than unless they find actual American clubs to take over these pre-trials or shows. So yeah. So is everybody okay with that? Say Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then adjust once we have an agenda?
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay. Then I guess that's what we'll do. Is that okay, Carla?
That works for me. Sounds good.
All right. So, that was the last one. Yay! Okay. So that was the last item for the open session. So thank you, everybody, for contributing to the meeting. I think it was a very productive meeting. And thanks to all the members that are listening in. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank
Good
you,
night.
Liz.
Good night.